What's going on, guys? It's NBA All-Star 967 here, and I'm back at it again with another video. And I'm going to be focusing primarily on the confirmed badges for NBA 2K20. And I apologize for them mostly being out of order in terms of category, because I should have just stuck everything that was in shooting, just stay in that order, and then list it until I get to playmaking, defending, and whatnot. But I'm sorry about that. I just went in order of like everything that I found on Twitter from Mike Wang responding to people and the NBA 2K League's Twitter account. But so far, the only ones that I have confirmed is 57 of them, and they said it's going to be about 85 plus badges, so I'm not going to really try speculating of which ones are returning, kind of like the personality ones like Alpha Dog, Beta Dog, Championship DNA, and Pickpocket and such like that. So I don't want to just assume like all the personality badges, but they honestly probably might just make a return regardless. But I don't want to give anyone false hope that, you know, would like some of those badges. Alright, so how it's going to work is I'm going to list the category that the badge is listed in, the badge name for NBA 2K20, and if there was a previous badge name in case it was either replacing one or in general if it's like a revamped version of the badge. And of course I will also give you a short description of the badge and maybe a breakdown or my opinion of it. So we're going to start off with the shooting badge with Range Extender, which is just a replacement of Limitless Range. It doesn't have the same ring to it. Like, Limitless sounds so much better than, oh, I just hit you with a Range Extender badge. Like, come on. But it's not only going to help with deep threes, it's going to help with long threes and long twos as well. Another shooting badge is actually going to be gone is Free Throw Ace, just because Mike Wang said it's now going to be an upgradable attribute as it was in previous years. Next, we have an off-ball badge. I think this might be the first of its kind, besides like Lob City Finisher. Is the Slippery Off-Ball badge, and there was never a badge in 2K19. And it helps with off-ball jukes to lose defender. And if you've seen the trailer already, you can see Steph Curry doing a juke move. So that kind of gives you a preview of what it would be like. Next, I have a shot creating badge. It's called Space Creator, and it wasn't a badge in last year's game, and it'll help with more effective step backs. Now I also have another like 5 shooting badges. It's going to be Volume Shooter. It's going to make a return, and in previous years it was actually a negative badge, because the moment you got that for your My Player build, you might as well have just made an entire new My Career and never get that badge ever again, because it would just mess up your My Career entirely by you having to actually hit shots and take shots in order for it to be effective. But in this year, they say it's going to increase your field goal percent the more your shots go in. The next 3 badges are all just returns, which is going to be Catch and Shoot, Difficult Shots, and Tireless Score, which have the same effect and same usage as previous years. Next, I have Deadeye, and the previous badge name is a combination of both the deep and the mid-range Deadeye, which is going to help not only, of course, 3-point shooters, but those that just want to have a mid-range game, or you're not allowed to have a mid-range game due to you being probably like a big man or you being a shot creator. Next is rebounding badges, and it is all going to be Rebound Chaser, Worm, and Box. Rebound Chaser is the replacement for Hustle Rebounder, which is going to work the same exact way. Worm will help you get around box outs, and Box will help you block off people with the badge of Worm. The next couple of badges are about playmaking, which is going to be Quick First Step, which will help with speed boosting, primarily like if you're doing a hesitation, or maybe you're doing some type of size up move and then all of a sudden you're driving to the rim, which will help a lot for players kind of like John Wall, LeBron, and Russell Westbrook. But Wang was also saying that every player has its own feel, and it will feel different for every player when you're doing the quick first step, if they have the badge, of course, and in general if the change of speed. Next is the Handles for Days, which helps lessen a player's fatigue when dribbling, which is going to help those dribble head gods, and whatever else you want to call them. Next is just a return of Dimer and Flashy Passer. A new one is going to be Needle Threader, but it's kind of replacing Pick and Roll Maestro in a way that it's going to help successful passes in traffic, but not limited to pick and rolls. So just in general, if there's a tight space, you're going to be able to make that pass a little bit more successfully. Now I have another shooting / personality badge, which is Hot Start, which is basically replacing Microwave, and it'll activate if the first couple of shots hit for your game or your player in general. Now I have another couple slashing badges, and this badge is going to replace Relentless Finisher and Posterizer in one, because it's going to be called Contact Finisher, which helps you with posterizing and help smaller players play above the rim. And then I also have Fancy Footwork, which hasn't been a badge before, but it kind of brings back previous badges like the Euro Stepper and Hop Stepper and stuff like that, because it's going to help with more successful Euro Step, Hop Steps, and Kratos and other shots like that. And we have the return of Acrobat, and instead of Tireless Scorer, we will have Relentless Finisher, which is basically Tireless Score for slashing. And then I have some defending badges. One is actually not going to make a return, is the Charge Card, because it was deemed as useless and kind of unwanted. And then we have the return of Interceptor, which will help with more successful passing lane steals. And then we have the return of Pick Dodger, Chase Down Artist, and Lockdown Defender is back, but not really, because Clamps is specifically for perimeter lockdown defenders. And then we have Post Move Lockdown, which is another version of Lockdown Defender, but more so for those big men, like you have a 6'10 small forward, or power forward, or even a center. And then we have some post scoring badges, the Deep Hooks and Deep Fades. Like Wang says, the Deep Hooks is going to be kind of like a Kareem type badge, and their description is right in the name. It'll help you more with deep hook shots and deep fadeaway jump shots. And then I have another playmaking badge, which is called Unpluckable, which makes it harder for the ball to be stolen, kind of like players that are low in terms of their turnovers, maybe like a guy like Mike Conley or someone like that, not someone like Russell Westbrook or James Harden. Next I have a couple of defending badges, which will consist of Intimidator, which will help players like pure rim protectors and people that also want to have lockdown in their build in general, because it will buff the defender's impact on all block and steal attempts. And then I have Heart Crusher, which will knock down the opposing team's takeover after a steal or a block, which is a big risk for the opposing team and the offense in general, because if somebody has the Heart Crusher badge, because it says that it knocks down the opposing team's takeover, not just the opposing player's takeover, because that's going to really hurt if somebody's like on the brink of getting team takeover and then you block or steal it from someone that's not even the person that has it. It's just going to really suck for the offense. Next is Pogo Stick, which will cut down the compression and decompression on block attempts, allowing you to jump repeatedly faster. And Mike Wang also addressed this issue that spamming is not going to help, is not going to do much good, and that they really focus on defense again this year, because if you're just spamming triangle, trying to get that block, and you have Pogo Stick, it's not going to get you the block. Next we have the return of Rim Protector. It's going to work the same exact way as in previous years, just help you with more successful block attempts. And then I have more shooting badges. All of these are new. Flexible Release, which will reduce the penalty of missed-timed releases. Green Machine, which will increase the success of getting a green release and give you more of a bonus when you shoot again. And then Steady Shooter, which will reduce the penalty for contested shots and gives a bonus for open shots. Now this is going to be really essential for those people that have sharpshooting in one of the top 2 or even 3 parts of their build, because instead of shooting full white bars, this time you're actually going to be rewarded for timing your jump shot really good. Next is another playmaking badge, which is called Stop and Go, which ties in with Quick First Step, because it's going to also help with speed boosting in terms of you're going to be able to stop on a dime, and then you're going to be able to just zoom right past someone immediately. And then I have another shooting badge, another new one. It's called Quick Draw, which speeds up the release of the jump shot. And the Bulls fan says that Stephen Curry has it on Hall of Fame, and I wouldn't be surprised if Klay Thompson also has it on Hall of Fame, because those are the 2 best shooters in the league right now. So that's going to also be effective for people with sharpshooting in their build, or just anyone in general if you have it, because you're allowed to pick your badges this year rather than it being assigned to you. Next is kind of an offense and a defensive badge because it's called Showtime, and it boosts your team's takeovers whenever you make a highlight play. It could be a block, maybe a steal. I doubt it's considered a highlight play. And then of course dunks, layups, and all that. And then we have the return of corner specialist, pick and popper, drop stepper, and brick wall. Then we have a new badge, but I kind of think it might just be the same thing or the replacement of Dreamlike up and under, because this one's going to be called Dream Shake, and it's going to raise a chance that a defender bites for a pump fake. And then we have another 3 defending badges. It's going to be called Off Ball Pest, which will improve the player's ability to bump and harass the offense off the ball. Trapper, which makes life difficult for offense players when trapped. Tireless Defender, which reduces stamina loss when exerting effort on defense. I think I like the idea of all of these tireless badges. The tireless score for jump shooters and slashers, and then there's Relentless Finisher, which will also reduce your stamina for that one, and then Tireless Defender, which is really key because if you have 99 stamina, and of course it could be in a My Team game, it could be in a Rec Center game, My Career game, people with those 3 badges, tireless, whatever, whether it be defender or scorer, is going to really help actually keep your stamina, because if you're an all-around player like a LeBron, like a Kevin Durant. And then we have a couple more shooting badges, which is called Clutch Shooter, which is essentially replacing Clutch Performer, which boosts shot accuracy in a close game. And then we have Ice in My Veins, which will increase your free throw percent in clutch times. Hot Zone Hunter, which increases the shot percent for shots taken in the player's favorite spot. And I'm assuming that a player's favorite spot is actually talking about like the place that you take the most jump shots in, or the place that you have the highest percent in. The last 4 badges that are confirmed, which is going to be Pro Touch, another slashing badge, which will increase the bonus for timing your layups well. Another slashing badge called Slippery Finisher, and I think it's going to tie in with fancy footwork and contact finisher, because Slippery Finisher sounds like it'll help you slide through the defense and make waves, and kind of be like a Kyrie Irving type finisher where you can have all those fancy layups and not really get blocked and still be able to make them as well. And then there's another post scoring badge where it's called Back Down the Punisher, which will increase the chance for a player to back down their opponent. And then the last one is another playmaking badge, which is called Tight Handles, which will increase your ability to break down the defender. And that's all of the badges that I have, all 57 of them, and there's still another 30 to 40 more of them. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to share in case you guys did like it, of course. That way we could get the channel popping a little bit more, get some more subscribers, get some more views and whatnot. That way your friends could also enjoy these videos as well, in case your other favorite YouTubers haven't gotten to this information, or just in general if you want to get more information like this, especially once the demo comes out on Wednesday, which is, it actually releases at 10 o'clock Central, which is 11 o'clock Eastern and 8 o'clock Pacific time. But if you're in other countries, I'm sorry, I don't exactly know what time it'll be coming